As the country picks up the pieces after violent white nationalist protests in Charlottesville, many Americans are asking themselves, is there anything I can do to stop racism and hate? Jason Calvey's in the house. He spoke with a Maryland man who is conquering hate with friendship. Tell us about that, Jason.
That's right, Lauren. His name is Daryl Davis, and he's an African-American pianist who jammed with Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, and others. He says by becoming friends with members of the KKK, he has helped them leave that white supremacist group. He tells me conversation can spark conversion.
You've led, what, a dozen Klansmen out of the Klan?
A lot more than that.
A lot more. How do you do it?
Conversation. You know, I'll give you an example of something. I was in my car one time with a Klansman, and he was talking about, which I've heard before, it's Klan ideology, that every black person has a gene within them that makes them violent. I'm as black as anybody you've ever seen. I have never done a carjacking or a drive-by. How do you explain that? He didn't even hesitate. He answered me like that. He said, your gene is latent. It hasn't come out yet. How do you argue with somebody that far gone? And I thought about it. So I said, well, you know, we all know that all white people have a gene within them that makes them a serial killer. And he said, well, how do you figure? I said, name me 3 black serial killers. He couldn't do it. I rattled off Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, Henry Lee Lucas, John Wayne Gacy. I said, you see, son, you're a serial killer. He says, Daryl, I've never killed anybody. I said, your gene is latent, hasn't come out yet. He goes, well, that's stupid. I said, well, duh. But yes, it is stupid. But it's no more stupid for me to say that about you than what you said about me. 5 months later, this guy who was an officer in the Klan quit the Klan, and I have his robe and hood, and that was the first robe and hood that I ever got. This is a robe of a Klan leader. This is an Imperial Wizard robe, okay? A national Klan leader.
No way.
Right there, okay? Here is the hood, okay? I did not get this just by getting on TV and saying, you know, racism is bad. You know, get out of it and mail me your robe and hood. No, I sat down and talked with these people, dialogue. That's what it takes. The little trivial things that you have in contrast, like skin color, don't matter anymore. And so you nurture those commonalities, and then you're starting to form a relationship, okay? You may be disagreeing, but you're forming a relationship. And then when you nurture that relationship, you begin to form a friendship. And next thing you know, each other sees each other as a human being. And that's what we need.
Mr. Davis tells me he's hopeful the white supremacists who marched in Charlottesville can turn away from racism. Lauren?
Jason, how did it feel talking to this guy?
It was an amazing story. I mean, he has the robes and the hoods to prove that conversation really can lead to conversion.
Amazing, amazing story. Thank you, Jason Calvey, reporting.